Good morning, all. This is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is a pre-market webinar for the morning of Friday, the 25th of July. My disclaimer: I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I've and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals, right? This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com, and it's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. Okay, right. We've trickled up a little here. We had a weak 60-minute buy signal fix after the close yesterday, or marginally after, or marginally before, but I had it marked on the chart last night, but it only just fixed then. That's made a little progress overnight, but we've not seen any significant retracement so far. NQ, we've got a very nice looking potential level top here, which I'm watching. No current negative divergence. RTY made the weak sell signal target on the hourly chart, and we've got a potential nested double top here now, which again I'm watching with interest. Looking at YM, we retested the high here, but we didn't actually quite make it to the retest of the all-time high on Dow Industrial, which I'm still leaning towards seeing. We've obviously seen a little downside here. I'm expecting it to go a little higher, but we also have a very nice looking double top here. DAX and the STX have made no progress at all, and this is partly because, or at least significantly because probably, it's the Europeans haven't made a deal yet, and I think the markets are slightly worried that they won't. But if there is talk that they're very close to a tariff deal at the moment, and if they get one, I'm thinking this will probably get both DAX and the STX to retests of these highs, which are basically the Dow Industrial reaching the all-time high retest, and DAX and the STX are basically the remaining unfinished business above that I would expect to see finished before we get fully into the inflection point here. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts, and on ES. If we see a break up, it won't take long for both the RSI 14 and the RSI 5 sell signals on SPX to fail. And yes, obviously. So we've obviously gone up significantly since we broke down below this trend line. We haven't yet quite reached the level at which I would be calling it, which would be basically at this trend line here. So if we just extend that along a little, really, I think I was looking at it yesterday and I was thinking that would be in the 6400 and change area, and I'm thinking about 6415. So that's what it would take to reach that trend line. Mind you, reaching that trend line wouldn't mean that it had broken up. It just mean this wedge had expanded. And actually, of course, if we do reach that higher 6500 target, we could do that within this wedge, so we would never need to actually fully break up into something else. On the 15-minute chart, we got a little 15-minute sell signal here. Nothing really to write home about. Really mainly waiting to see if it's going to reach this trend line here. Looking at the Qs, we lost divergence on the RSI 14. We've still got an RSI 5 sell signal fix, but you can see, as with SPX, it wouldn't take an awful lot to lose it on a breakup. We will see. In the meantime, this has been a bit weaker, which is why we've got a nice looking double top on the hourly and the 15-minute charts. I've drawn in the trend line here, which again would be the point at which I'd redraw the support trend line, and I've got that currently in about the 573 area. Obviously, that's still a significant area above, but if we hit that, again, I'd be redrawing this trend line through to show as unbroken. Looking at the 15-minute chart, we got an open weak RSI 14 sell signal. Again, nothing really to write home about. Dire, we've got a possible RSI 14 sell signal brewing now, so we have made the retest of this high here, but we haven't quite made, although we got really, really close, was the retest of the all-time high. Very close to that though, and I'm thinking we may well see that in the next 2 or 3 days, and that would be an important piece of unfinished business out of the way. On the hourly chart, no current divergence. We haven't actually broken the rising support trend line here on the Dire chart, of course. I am thinking we'll likely see a test of that sometime in the next week. RSI 14 sell signal, we've got a weak one fixed. And obviously a nice looking overall double top. Okay, looking at the IWM chart. On the daily chart, we've got a weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed, a weak RSI 5 sell signal fixed. Neither of those are anywhere near to break it. So we will see. On the hourly chart, no current divergence. We have broken the original rising support trend line here, albeit slightly. and waiting to see, whether or not we will get any higher than this nice looking double top setup, which is looking pretty good. So IWM 15-minute, we had an RSI 14 sell signal fixed, but it's already made target. Okay, looking at DAX, I'm still leaning towards seeing the retest. Still haven't seen it yet. On Nikkei, we did see the retest, and it looks like we might make it to the 42.4K retest. I was thinking that if the IWM IHS wasn't going to make target, then that looked less likely, but looks like we're going to make that anyway, so that now actually looks like unfinished business as well. All right, let's have a look at DX. Now, DX, we've been seeing a bit of a rally here. I'm still liking the double top to go down. 60-minute buy signal has reached the possible near miss target. But the best pattern I've got really on the currencies is this lovely triangle on USD CAD. This is a bearish triangle. A, B, C, D, E. This is kind of a fail anytime triangle. So the obvious next move would it to be failed around, well, here, or not much higher, and go back down and retest this low. This is a significant indicator that the US dollar is going to go down some more at least. All right, looking at bonds, ZB, we've still got a head and shoulders which is broken down here. It still hasn't failed, although the one on ZN has failed. So watching this with great interest. But we will see. We've also got an IHS which is broken up on the end, and that has failed too. I am wondering whether a triangle might be forming here. And I'm going to be having a good look at these over the weekend. I'll be coming back with my thoughts by the time we do the bigger picture webinar on Sunday. All right, let's have a look at CL. CL is still testing the rising support trend line here. It still hasn't broken. We've got a weak 60-minute sell signal fix, but it's done very little so far. Tried to get back over the monthly pivot at 66.36 at the moment. I do have a downward lean though, because HO has broken down below the megaphone support. Watching to see this might retest the high and then come down, but I am thinking this may well be a topping process to go lower. RBOB already got a double top which has broken down. We had a 60-minute sell signal. That's not really done a lot, and it's already made the possible near miss target, but I'm still leaning towards seeing this target made here in the 2.025 area. NG, we've been seeing a very, very small rally. This is the kind of rally I'd be expecting to see if it's going to be heading down again soon, and on the bigger picture I'm kind of expecting it to head down again soon. I'm thinking ABC. We will see how that develops. All right, GC. Now, GC is looking interesting because it did look as though we'd broken up, and I was thinking we might be seeing a retest of the all-time high shortly, but since then, we've seen a sharp reversal, and we have broken this rising support trend line, which I've very carefully looked at, and that is correct, and this was just a little moving average below it here. So that is broken. That is opening potentially the door to more downside and making more credible, even though we've got a possible 60-minute buy signal break, making more credible this double top on silver, which of course has gone up to big resistance, retested it, and we've got a very nice looking double top here. I'm not seeing anything compelling suggesting that isn't going to play out at the moment. Palladium, no obvious topping pattern here, no signals. Platinum, nice looking double top here which is broken down, possible head and shoulder neckline here. Watching that with interest. HG, we've got a 60-minute sell signal that's fixed. It hasn't reached the possible near miss target yet. We've got a very nice looking potential level top, and again, watching that with interest. All right, KC. KC, I am wondering whether this might be A, B, C flag, take us up into the monthly pivot area, although that's only the monthly pivot for the first 4 days of next week, of course. Sugar, still wondering whether this is an inverted head and shoulders, failing at the monthly pivot so far. CC, this broke up over megaphone resistance, and I'm wondering about a possible IHS forming here or alternative bottoming pattern. Cotton, this is also a nice looking triangle, and although I've drawn the triangle support from here, this is also a bearish triangle. This would be A, B, C, D, E. So actually, really, it would normally have broken down before it got back up here. I will be looking, potentially changing this view if we get over the triangle resistance here, but at the moment this is a bearish triangle and it would be due to break down very shortly. Lumber, we had a double top, it broke down, it failed, and we've got a potential larger double top here, which I'm watching. ZW, lean towards the downside, but not really doing a lot in the last couple of days. Corn, got this nice looking double top, which is broken down, or, no, it's a head and shoulders. So if we get over this level here, which is about 44, then the head and shoulders fell. No sign of that happening at the moment. The 60-minute buy signal has reached the possible near miss target. I'm leaning towards this going down, making this target. Soy, we had a head and shoulders here and it failed. And this could be seen as a head and shoulders, but it's not as good as the first head and shoulders. So I'm not drawing it as that at the moment. We will see how that goes. But this could be, actually, no, it is better. Because, well, I'm going to draw this in now. Hang on one second. Because this would be the right shoulder. All right, actually, that is a better head and shoulders here. So we've got an alternate head and shoulders here, and this is broken down too. Weekly pivot, not only support, well, only support for today, of course. But I am watching this, and let's have a look where the target goes. It's basically a target at a retest this low, which frankly really is the obvious target. Okay, so let's have a look at this arrow here. Yep. Hang on, just to see if I can get this neckline right. Okay, so that's the neckline. That's the this is the target, but the target never, the first target is always the full retest of the previous low. The other one's an extended target. So basically the target is at a retest of that low. The head and shoulders is a bit oversized, but not unduly so. That's not a bad pattern actually. So we shall see. So that would be left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We will see how that goes, but actually I quite like that one. All right. Soybean oil, a weak 6-minute sell signals fix, hasn't really delivered anything. Next obvious target within this overall megaphone would be the megaphone support currently in about the 53.95 area. Live cattle, we haven't got, it's breaking this trend line, but we haven't actually got any really decent trend lines on this yet. So I'm not reading anything into that. Might be topping out, but there's nothing particularly to say that that's what's happening here. So we shall see. All right, and lean hogs. We are testing the megaphone resistance here. Very nice clear test. If that breaks up, I would be wondering about a retest this high here, up here at about the 97 area. Wouldn't necessarily need to get that far, but that's what I'd be wondering about. All right, great. In that case, I think no questions. So I think that's a wrap. Everyone take care, and everyone have a wonderful weekend. All right, take care.